Okay, Parshas Beshalach, Tafshin Pei Daled. And we're going to be asking a very, very big question. The question is, which one is greater, this world or the next? And we've got two Mishnayos from Avos, Rebbe Yaakov, back to back in the fourth Perek, Mishnah Tes Zion and Yud Zion. Rebbe Yaakov Oimer, Ha'olim Hazeh Doime leProzdo b'fnei Ha'olim Haba. Hasken atzmacha beProzdo kadesh tikanes leTraklin. This world is similar to a corridor before Olam Haba. Fix yourself in the corridor so that you can enter into the palace. But then Rabbi Yaakov goes on, the next Mishnah, and he says, Hu haya oimer. The Mishnah says, he used to say this. Yafish sha'achas b'tshuva ma'asim tovim ba'olam hazeh. It's more beautiful, more lovely, more wonderful. 1 hour of tshuva and ma'asim tovim in olam hazeh. Mekol ha'olam haba. Than all of the life of olam haba. V'yafish sha'achas shel koros ruach ba'olam haba. And it's yafeh, 1 hour of koros ruach, which is like emotional pleasure, maybe. Koros ruach ba'olam haba. Mikol hayolam hazeh, than all of the life of this world. But it comes out the 1 hour of choosing ma'asim and tovim is better than all of the life of olam haba, and then koros ruach is better than all of the life of olam hazeh. So what comes out? It's that mission itself is a little bit confusing, and especially when you couple it with the mission that you said just before, that this world is just a corridor. This one is just a corridor, and if you read the beginning of the Mesilas Yesharim, although my understanding of the Mesilas Yesharim is that it's a Havamina, but the way that it's generally understood, the basic understanding of the Mesilas Yesharim at the beginning is it uses this Mishnah to show you how this world is really kind of irrelevant. It's absolutely a means to an end. The end is Olam Haba. And people use this Mishnah Be'ikah to discuss that. Okay, we're going to put that question to aside for the minute. And we're going to just discuss another quick question here. This is a Torah unto itself, but you'll see it fits in, B'ezrat Hashem. Why was it that Nachshon ben Aminadav had to enter into the Yam ad groinoi, until his neck? Yeah, the Orchaim, I'll quote the Orchaim. He says on Pasuk... It says to his neck. That's what it says. But it's in Pasuk Yud Dalet Tesvav. But Tim says again, the Tzaddik Arisha, and it came out the first Tzaddik who Nachshon ben Aminadav, the Nichnas ad Groinoi. He entered up until his groin, up until his neck, his throat. V'loi nivka hayam, and the yam didn't split. Ad she'ama. Ki ba'u maim ad nefesh, until the maim came into his nefesh, meaning that he was moist nefesh. It came up into his throat, and then it came. Then it opened up. Also, just in Birchas Kriya Shema, we also say ushvu oil goyim me'al svarenu. Break the oil, the yoke of the goyim that is around our necks. Yeah, and also Moshe. The Shechina spoke from the groin of Moshe. What's the Inyan? So the Inyan, basically, the Tanya explains that the Ruach Shtus, which causes a person to sin, basically gets a person disconnected from reality, only reaches ad Chochma, v'loi ad Bichlal. It gets up to Chochmah, but it does not cover Chochmah. Meaning it covers up to Bina. It covers Bina, but it doesn't touch your Chochmah. Now, although Bina is a mind faculty and is generally related to the left side of the brain, in Aruch, when the spheres are in a line, a linear, yeah, Bina corresponds to the Goen, to the throat. So Nachshon needed to walk in to the Yam until his throat, meaning what needed to be moist nefesh was from his Bina down. Because our Chokhmah is always cognizant of the Boin Shloim. That's what allows a Yid to be Moisa Nefesh. So that wasn't necessary. The Moisa Nefesh is dafka for the system from Bina down. Bina down means that the emotions are selfish. Yeah, the emotions are all about me. And if the emotions hijack Bina, the emotions can hijack Bina. Yeah, Bina is the cognitive, analytical mind, the thinking mind. So if the selfish thoughts of Bina, so the selfish thoughts of the emotions catch Bina, yeah, that's a problem. But they can never touch Chokhmah. Chokhmah is so heilig. Chokhmah is so button to the Boin Shalom. The Boin Shalom is found in Chokhmah. That's the head, and that's why Nachshon had to walk into the Yam until his neck, because that was the inyan of Mesiras Nefesh. But he didn't need to go in over his head because the head, the head being symbolizing Chokhmah, is always in a state of his kashrus from the Boin Shalom.
Does the neshama reside around the head?
The primary place of the neshama is in the brain, yeah.
So isn't that what's the Chelek Hashem? Isn't that like the connection to Hashem?
So yeah, but it also comes down into the right side of the heart. So it's connected to the whole, and it's also connected above. It depends which the neshama of the neshama is, meaning there's 5 madregas the neshama. Yeah, nefesh ruach neshama chai yechida. So on that breakdown, the neshama, which is the intellect, so to speak, is kashor to the brain. Yeah, but we're talking about a different breakdown. We're talking about a different breakdown. We're talking about the breakdown of Chokhmah, Bina, and down. So, but the inyan of walking up into that, and that was why Moshe, well, before he said Moshe, that's why we ask for Hashem to remove the oil of the goyim from our neck. Because the head of the Yid, the Chokhmah of the Yid, is always connected to the Boin Shloim. It's just from the neck down. Just from the neck down. And that's why Moshe spoke from the neck. That's why the Shekhinah spoke from Moshe's neck, because that's the Chiddush. The fact that the Emunah of the Yid, the Chokhmah of the Yid, is connected to the Boin Shalom, that's with all of us. But Moshe, the entire system became Heilig. So the Shekhinah was Medebres Metoich Moshe. It was speaking from the neck of Moshe. Why? Because that was the Chiddush of Moshe, is that the system from the neck down became Heilig. Every Yid on the level of Chokhmah, on the level of Emunah, is doime to Moshe Rabbeinu and to all the Avos and to everyone. But the difference is when you get from the going down, and that was the Chiddush of Moshe. So that's a side point, okay? That was a Torah itself. That's a side point. Basically, the Nachshon had to be Moisa Nefesh. There was the essential element that gave us the schus, so to speak, for Hashem to split open the sea, was the Mesiras Nefesh of Nachshon, which is giving up to the neck. But anyway, let's go weiter now. Keep that in your. Let's put that to the side. Now we're going to get back to our main question: which one's greater, this world or the next? So it's important to know. Do you remember in the Haggadah there's that really weird bit with Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Eliezer, and Rabbi Kiva when they're discussing about the makkahs by the sea? Yeah, and they said that there were 10 makkahs in Mitzrayim, which was the Etzba Hashem. That was one, and it was the Yad Hashem by the sea. So Rabbi Yossi says it was 10 makkahs by the sea, and it was one finger by Mitzrayim, so it was a whole hand by the sea, so it was 50 makkahs. And then Rabbi Eliezer says, I think it was four makkahs, each makkah was 4 makkahs, so it was 200 makkahs. And then Rabbi Kiva says it was 5 makkahs, it was 250 makkahs. Yeah, Rabbi Yossi says 50, Rabbi Eliezer 200, Rabbi Kiva 250. The point is, though, and this is what everybody agrees in, is that by the sea, by Kriyas Yam Suf, it was the Yad Hashem. by Makkah's Mitzrayim, by the Esau Makkahs, it was the Etzba Hashem. By Kriyas Yamsuf, it was the Yad Hashem. What's the difference? What's the point? What's the inyan of the Yad Hashem? Now, it's interesting, just as before we discuss that, well, the inyan of what's the difference between one hand and two hands? It says Yad Hashem. Now listen to there's a Rashi at the end of the parsha, or not at the end of the parsha, by in Shir Shayom, where it says Mekadesh Adonai Koinenu Yadecha. Rashi says Chaviv Beis Hamikdash. The Beis Hamikdash is Chaviv, lovely, desired, dear. Sheha'olam nivra biyad achas. The world was created with one hand. Shne'emar af yadi yosta oretz mishiao. Umikdash b'shtei yadayim. But the mikdash was built with shtei yadayim. I'm not going to finish up, but what's the inyan? The world was built with one hand, and the mikdash was built with two hands. What's the difference between doing something with one hand and doing something with two hands? That's the question. Okay, one hand, you do things with one hand when they're a means to an end. You do things with both hands when it's an end unto itself. Olam Hazeh is not an end unto itself. It's a means to an end. What's the end? Is the Boy Sholom's is the Dir B'Tachtoinim. Shem wanted a Dir B'Tachtoinim, so he needed to create Olam Hazeh. So Olam Hazeh is not an end unto itself, it's a means to an end. That's why he created this world with one hand, and he created the Beis Hamikdash with two hands, with Shtei Yadayim. So it's interesting because the Pasuk says, V'yosh Adonai b'yomahu es Yisrael miyad Mitzrayim, v'ya Yisrael es Mitzrayim meisal sfas hayam. V'ya Yisrael es Yad Gedoyla. They saw the Yad Gedoyla, the Yad Gedoyla. Asher Osa Hashem Mitzrayim, that Hashem did to Mitzrayim at the Yam, the hand, because listen to what he says in the pasuk, in other pasukim here. Oi, 1 second. Oi Hanise Elokim lavoy lekachas loy goy mekev goy. You ever saw Hashem ever did such a thing where he took a goy from the midst of another goy, b'masois ba'oisois, uva moifsim, uva milchama, with wondrous signs and miracles, etc., and with war, uva yad chazaka, with one hand again, yad chazaka, uva zerua natuya, and a stretched out arm, uva moirim gedolim, and moirim dikazachim, kachor she'asa lechem, that he did for you, Hashem Elokeichem, b'mitzrayim la'einecha. You saw all of this ledas, to know. None of these miracles were an end unto themselves. Shem does these miracles, they're not for the sake of the miracles that we would say, oh wow. The point of the miracle is ledas, and that's what it says when Hashem did the miracles by us. We say in Shir Shayam, it says v'yuha ames Hashem v'ya'aminu, and we believed in Hashem. But that's not the ultimate madrega. The ultimate there is not believing in Hashem. The ultimate madrega is knowing Hashem. Ve'ostichli be'emuna ledas es Hashem. The emuna is there to bring us to das. Adam Yada Eschava is we're meant to know Hashem, not to believe. That's believing is an important madrega, but the place where we're trying to get to is Yediyah, where it's a merging, a visceral merging, like you with your goof is meant to be you with the Rabbeinu Shalom. So all of these moifsim at the Yam were all done with Yad Hashem, because they were all to bring us. They were all to bring us to Das. which is the base of Migdash, the base of Bechira. That's Bechinas Das. That's Shtei Yadayim. That's an end unto itself. So it comes out, what's the inyan? Why is that, by the way, that one hand is a means to an end and two hands is an end unto itself? Well, we see one hand is a means to an end because everything it just explained just now. But the idea of the two hands being merames to an end unto itself, number one, the inyan of being Masich Das, the Tanya speaks about being Masich Das. He says to push away a thought, b'shtei yadayim u'masich das. If you push away a thought with two hands, Masich Das. Das again is the inyan of the intimate binding, which is an end unto itself. So you push away a thought with two hands, that breaks the das, that breaks the hischavus to the thought. Also, just as a very interesting point, is two yadayim is koyach. Yeah, yad is 28, which is koyach. Koyach is the two-letter shresh of the word noichach, face to face. That's always an end unto itself, a relationship that's face to face. So that's bechinas koyach. That was a side point. So it comes out that the prosdor that Rabbi Yaakov was talking about, we could say is Kriyas Yamsuf. What's the traklin? That was Har Sinai. So we've got three madregas now. We've got getting to the palace, and then we've got the yechidus with the king in his palace. And then we've got the third level, which we didn't speak about, which is the shlichus of the king. When you go to the palace to meet with the king, you're going to discuss what you can help, how you can help him, how you can help fix up his malchus. That's why you go and talk to the king. So I don't know if we asked this question before. I can't think of the word. What's more? When the king is telling you about what he wants done for his state, or when you're out there doing it for him? You're the Mishnah the Melech, yeah? You meet up with the Melech and he sits there and he tells you everything that he desires so deeply for his state. And you're sitting there, you're b'yechidus with the king. How much more special could you feel? It's incomparable. But he's telling you what he wants because he needs you to do these things for him. So when you go out there and you're out there in the trenches dealing with the other politicians and getting the projects up and running, you're dealing with the building and with the planning and with all the logistics and whatever, yeah? Where's the feelings? You don't feel special like sitting there with the king. You're out there with your hands all dirty, dealing with annoying people and problems and headache, etc., yeah? But you're fulfilling his shlichus. You've become him, mamash. You're his hand. See, when you're sitting there in his palace, face to face, you're not him, you're experiencing him. When you get out there into the Medina and you start putting into the policies that he was speaking to you with, you start putting them into effect. Now you've actually become him, even though it doesn't feel like that. And so this is the answer. So this world, it says, Rabbi Yaakov says, Haskein atzmacha beprosdor. Fix yourself in the prosdor. So this world is how you get to the king. But Rabbi Yaakov says, Haskein atzmacha beprosdor. Fix yourself in this world. If you don't fix yourself, the etzem, your sense of self, you won't recognize the king because you'll be sitting there in front of the king thinking about yourself. But when you fix yourself in this world, now you come back, you are able to experience the king once you've walked through the Yam Suf and you've experienced the Yad Hashem, which is just the means to the end. But you've cupped to the point where you realize that you are part of that means to the end, that you're not an end unto yourself. And that dissolves that sense of atzmius, of yesh. Now you're prepared, now you're ready to enter into the Traklin, to actually go into the palace and have a yechidus with the Rebbeinu Sholem. That's Har Sinai. Har Sinai was not a means to an end. Har Sinai, now he told us, it says, you know, the word anoichi is ana nafshi ksivis yavis. Yeah, ana nafshi, I wrote to you my soul. I've given you my soul. That's Har Sinai. That's going into the palace. That's being with him. That is an end. That is an end. But the world is going back out of the palace, so to speak, back into the Yam, back into the Prosdor, because that's what he wants fixed up. He wants the Prosdor fixed up. The palace is already beautiful and perfect. What we need to fix up is the capital city and all the kfarim and all the cities and all the everything that the Medina needs to get fixed up. The Malchus needs to get fixed up. So the Prosdor, you're right, you go through the Prosdor. Yeah, that's to fix yourself. You get to Har Sinai, that's Yamsuf. You get to Har Sinai, which is the Traklin, that's the palace. Hashem reveals himself to you, mamash. Yeah, that's the ultimate experience. That's the geschmack, that's the chorus ruach. But then you go back with your mission, back to the Yam, back to the Prosdor, to fix up the Prosdor. And that's really the ultimate source that we have. And we have to meditate on this over and over. The ultimate source that we have is the fact that we can be over the Shem. Not reward, not nothing. That we have the source to serve the Rebbeinu Shlom. That is pasha, mind-blowing. You want reward? Why would you, like, who cares? Like, it's like someone's giving you everything, and on top of it, you want a lollipop. You're like, what? You want to give me a lollipop? Gesundheit, I'll take it and I'll enjoy it. And if you want to get out, fine, that's great. But is that part of the equation, Bichlal? And it's so simple. I remember my 10-year-old boy, I said it to him just so clearly, like, yeah, the Belzer Rebbe, I've said this before, no? The Belzer Rebbe asked you to clean his car. He says, I've got to run an errand. I'm going to leave you my car for 3 hours, yeah? Yeah, see what you could do. Could you clean my car for me? Imagine what you would do, 3 hours. The toothbrush and it would be, he'd come back in 3 hours. It would be a brand new car, yeah? Brand new car. And he's like, psh, Michael, puts his hand around your shoulder. He says, he'd take $50. Even if he was to say, take $1 million, you'll be like, I mean, if you want to give that to me, that's fine. But what, that's it. That's the schus. So the schus is this world on the way out. Once we've received the ana nafshi, once Hashem's told us about Himself and what He wants and what He needs, so to speak, and we can go and do that. That's everything. That's what they were talking about, and that's what the Baal Shem Tov said when he said Rachmana Liba boy. Yeah, not that he wants you to be going like that. Yeah, some people are like that. If you like that, then do that. Some people, you're like a more relaxed guy, I see. Yeah, if you're more relaxed, then you don't do that. Yeah, you relax. That's how you serve Hashem. Yeah, what is Rachmana Liba boy means? He wants your heart, not he wants you that. He wants you. He wants you. And how do you give that to him? That's through your service. That's your service as well to Hashem. Okay, and that's, by the way, tshuva umaisim tovim. Why do you need tshuva umaisim tovim? Surely maisim tovim would be enough, or surely tshuva would be enough. Why both? Because the tshuva means, like we've said, the tshuva means not I want to be the best over Hashem I can be. It's Hashem, you deserve the best avodas Hashem there can be. That's tshuva. Tshuva means I'm returning to you, Rebbeinu Sholem. You're what it's about. It's not about my avodah. It's about you. That's tshuva. And then comes the maisim toivim. Toivim loshen surrendered or transparent or hailing. It's not about me. That's what toiv means. It's about you. So the tshuva is the reorientation back to Hashem, and the maisim toivim is the maisim that come from the tshuva. And that's what we said. That's what it's all about. So which one's greater? This world or the next world? This world. The next world, we sit there and we receive reward. This world, sorry, the next world, we sit there and receive reward. But this world, we get to serve. And that's why we say mitzvah gereres mitzvah. Because that's all we want. And that's why we say to people, tizgele mitzvahs. That's the most powerful bracha you can ever give anyone. It's mamash givoldig. Okay, we should be zoche b'zvat Hashem to our own kriyas yamsuf and to avoid the shleima tamima. Be'ezus Hashem's barach.